Hello everyone, welcome to the African Language Conversations channel, a channel that talks about African languages, their importance, and response to comments that have been made or claims that have been made about African languages that deserve to be responded to. I'm going to start today's episode by reading to you the article or an article written by Muthoni Thangwa in the Sunday Nation sometime in 2014. So it's a bit dated, but the issues that are discussed in the article are as much relevant then as they are today. So the title of the article is "Children Should Be Taught in Mother Tongue at School," and I'm going to read it to you. And then in the following episodes, I will be responding to comments that people made about this article, about what Muthoni discussed in the article. So the article is about mother tongue, as the title says, and it explains the importance of teaching children in their mother tongue. And the author does a great job at reminding the readers that this is a policy that has been in place for a long time, the preferred government policy, where children are expected to be taught in mother tongue, and the reasons for that are very clear, obvious. And the author actually reminds readers that people who argue against that policy in most cases are ignorant. But we'll see in the comments, or some of the comments, it's actually true. Like some of the people or some of the comments are made, they are made out of ignorance. So so the thing, or the things that the author talks about are quite straightforward and should actually not be disputed. But some of the readers' comments, the comments that the readers made were negative, and that's surprising. And they were, for most of them, actually, let me say most of them were negative. And I would say that those comments reveal those readers' negative attitudes towards African languages, and they also reveal just they reveal the ignorance that some of those readers had. So I feel there's a this need to respond to each of the comments that the readers made, and this, I hope, will explain, or will help set the record straight, and help people understand the importance of African languages and the importance of using African languages generally. So the reason I want to respond to, or by responding to those comments, I hope to, one, provide some love for African languages. This is the love that they deserve, but they desperately need the love. I also hope to defend African languages against some of the comments, negative comments that are made. I also hope to help improve Kenyans and Africans generally, their attitude, and I hope to improve their attitude towards the languages. And then I also hope to justify the use and development of African languages. I also hope to argue for better language policies, and I also hope to start a meaningful ongoing conversation about African languages. So this is not going to be confined to the comments that are made by readers in this article, or in reaction to the issues discussed in the article. But even after finishing, after going through the comments that the readers made, I will continue talking about African languages. So this is a channel that is dedicated to African languages. It's a channel that is that will hopefully raise or start a meaningful conversation about African languages. There are lots of issues that that need to be discussed. There are a lot of issues that people are either not well informed or they just have attitudes that are or they have attitudes that are unexplainable. So I'll respond to most of the comments that readers made, and there's gonna be I'll do an episode like per comment, but because I think there's a lot that needs to be said about those comments, and after I finish those comments, I'll continue talking about African languages. So this episode is mainly about it's about the articles. I'm just going to read it, and I've provided a link here to that article. It was published on Sunday, February the 2nd of 2014, and it was updated on June 28th, 2020. It was published in the Sunday Nation. As I said, the issues that were raised, or the issues that the author discussed, are relevant now. Like, even though it's a dated article, but the issues are relevant, and the comments that readers made are relevant now. So I'll read the article verbatim. I'm going to read all of it, and I'll stop there after reading the article. I will not go on to the comments. So it's in the next episode that I will start discussing and responding to the comments. So, children should be taught in mother tongue at school, by Muthoni Thangwa. The language policy requiring children in lower primary to be taught in a mother tongue has apparently been in place for 3 decades, according to the Ministry of Education. This policy, which seems to have come to the attention of some teachers and parents only last week, has made some of them very unhappy. All sorts of reasons have been floated. It is retrogressive, bad for national cohesion, makes some children disadvantaged, difficult to implement, and so on. First, it's difficult to imagine where these teachers have been for 3 decades, that they have not heard of the policy. 2, there is a reason why policymakers and implementers are not the same set of people. Policy will generally look at the basics that bring advantages to the largest numbers, not at individual cases. The technical person, in this case the teacher, can and has the ability to structure the policy to suit their specific needs. So the question remains, is there any need or use for teaching children in their mother tongue? The answer is a resounding yes. There is need. The realization of the right to education for all remains one of the biggest challenges of development, especially in Africa. To be able to reach all children in their diversity and any special circumstances that they may be living in, equity enhancing policies need to not only be put in place but also supported. In the Kenyan situation, it means that not first curing that Jiga infested child of Jigas, or restoring the health of that malnourished child so that they can then start the course of learning, is a form of exclusion and discrimination. But to support their circumstances, they are best taught in the language that they understand, so that learning is not delayed, even as other non-education interventions are realized. I do not need to surely outline the value of education to the protesting teachers and parents. Such policies are saying, in other words, education is a must, anyway and anyhow. UNESCO's Convention Against Discrimination in Education supports the use of mother tongue in early learning. Use of mother tongue not only provides comfort for a child, making education seamless and arduous undertaking, but it gives all children a chance to start learning, even as they enter a multilingual, multicultural world. Funny that some argue that this policy is anti-national cohesion because the opposite is true. One of the ways to create harmony in multicultural societies is by inculcating respect for each other's cultures, languages, and values through the education system. The use of ethnic languages can be a source of our nationhood. I have cousins who have lived in Eldoret all their lives. As kids, they spoke Kalenjin and Kiswahili. These cases are replicated all over this country. A Kisii family living in Nakuru has Kikuyu-speaking children. A Kamba family living in Kisumu has Luo-speaking children. Children who grow up at the Kenyan coast speak fluent Kiswahili regardless of their ethnic background. This is the real national cohesion and integration. It makes no sense to argue that it is retrogressive. All languages are dynamic, and how progressive, might I ask, is teaching a 4-year-old in a language whose structure, format, and grammar they do not understand. It's very distressful for children to learn the language and at the same time grasp scientific, mathematical, and linguistic concepts in the unlearned language. Many have broken back to ensure that their children are multilingual. It is sad that to some, being multilingual has to include a language from the West. In reality, a child who speaks Kiswahili and Kikamba is just as multilingual as one who speaks English and French. Only the very ignorant do not realize that this policy is asking for children to be given a chance at learning universally. Yeah, so that's the author's article, and she makes very, very good ideas. She puts up a very good she explains some very, very strong reasons for the need to use African languages, to use children's mother tongue. And as I said, I'm not going to go on to the comments that readers made. I'll do that starting in the next episode. But think about the reasons or the author's take on the use of African languages. It doesn't make sense for one to have alternative views or to even make the comments that some of the readers made. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for listening. I hope I'll see you in that next video because I'm serious about starting a conversation about African languages and helping my viewers understand the importance and the use of African languages. I think for me, for a long time, African languages have not been given a chance. They have not been used the way they should. But it's high time we discuss these issues and talked about the issues that people have to help them understand like why it is important for African languages to be given a chance. So see you in my next video. Bye bye.